Why, hello there, soulmates. My name's Soulkeeper, and welcome to Resident Evil 1 Remake. We're going to be playing on Real Survival, Jill. We're also playing on the GameCube, and we're going to be skipping cutscenes for the purposes of this gameplay walkthrough. There's a few different things about Real Survival. There's no auto-aim, it's all manual aiming, the item boxes are not linked, and the game is locked to the hardest difficulty. There's a few more differences, but I'll let you know what they are as we go. So we're going to go into the dining room first thing. It's going to take us there automatically. To get an alternate cutscene, we're going to turn around, interact with the door, and Jill will talk to Wesker. It's going to send her right back into the dining room. And we're going to turn right around and interact with the door again. Barry will talk to us that time. Now cross the dining room and talk to Barry. And then turn around and run away from that door. That zombie will introduce itself to us automatically. It's like the game is throwing up its hands and saying, fine, if you're not going to do it, we'll do it for you. It's trying to give you the first scare of the game. You don't have to do that. You can just go through the door and go meet the zombie. But it's a fun little extra. Back in the dining room. Now that we're looking for Wesker, we're going to go up the stairs, turn right around, and go back down. Once you reach the top there, just turn around. You might notice I'm moving a little weird. What I'm doing is mashing the run button on the GameCube controller, so I'm stair skating. Barry will give us the lockpick. Now let's go back into the dining room. This time we're actually going to go through that door that we didn't go through yet. Go down, go up, and then go all the way to the door at the end there, past that body. This isn't in the original Resident Evil. This is all new stuff here. There's an herb over there to the right that might be worth grabbing if you've taken damage for some reason. Otherwise, you might just want to leave it. It'll probably clutter up your inventory if you try taking it right now. But if you need it, it's there. Now, hug the wall and just keep running as you run past that zombie. Don't stop or else it'll grab you. Most of the time you won't get grabbed. This zombie... We bait out zombies in this game by going toward them, waiting, and when it looks like they're about to start grabbing, we hit back on the controller, and if we timed it right, they'll whiff. It's actually easier to think... Excuse me, it's easier to do than you think it is. But also requires a little bit of finesse. So if you don't get it the first time, don't feel bad. And if you feel like you need to use other tactics to get around zombies, like maybe baiting them out and just running around them, I mean, that's fine. The grab dodge is admittedly a little more challenging. So we're going to run down through this graveyard, ignore that other zombie, go right up to the crypt, and use the arrowhead that we take off of this arrow that we picked up from the murder hallway, quote-unquote. You should have taken that arrowhead back there. Excuse me, the arrow. There's a book right below this coffin. It has another key item, we have to take it. I know. Who wants to read books, right? Not right now, this is no time for reading. Zombie apocalypse on the horizon. As we leave the crypt, there's a strong possibility that you might get grabbed by a zombie. It's a little hard to dodge these zombies here, because the angle's weird, they cramp your style. If you feel like you can bait out a grab, by all means go for it. If you feel like you can just run around them, go for it. But I wouldn't blame you if you have a hard time with it. Now back excuse me, now that we're back in the main area, we're going to go through the doors that we haven't gone through yet. And this will take us to a very familiar spot from the original game. We're just going to ignore the left side of the room. We're going to go right to the door. We're going to examine the book, and we're going to take the key from the book and unlock this door. If you feel like reading the book, by all means, go for it. This will take us to the dog hallway. The dog hallway isn't as bad as it sounds. With this set of china right here, just push that shelf and, excuse me, push the case, shelf, whatever, and take the dagger. The dogs actually won't jump in here until you go back through, but we're not really going to go back through that area. Not really. Not a lot of reason to, honestly. Once we're there, to the next hallway, hang a left, go through this door using your lockpick. Outside in this area, there's a spot where there's some herbs if you need to heal. Maybe you got grabbed by a zombie, go ahead. There's also a bag of chemical that you absolutely have to have. The bag of chemical is a key item. You need it to progress, so be sure you take it. Back in this hallway, you might want to go straight forward and go through this door into the bathroom, because there's another defense item. The daggers that we pick up really help us out. Because odds are you're going to get grabbed at some point, and a defense item prevents you from taking damage. Taking damage is not great in real survival. If you take damage in real survival, it pretty much puts you in caution automatically. And if it doesn't, well, you got lucky. After we're done stomping in that zombie's head, Jill does it automatically, and taking the dagger that comes with it, we're going to run to the end of this hallway, go into that door, and right here, take the dagger, and we'll take the shotgun. This is going to be one of our main weapons for the entire game. The shotgun. We're going to have two main weapons for this entire thing. Our weapons are going to be shotgun, defense items, and a grenade launcher. Now, because we didn't take a broken shotgun, there's this trap that's going to start as we go back through there. But since Barry comes to save us, all we have to do is interact with the two doors, and Barry comes and saves our bacon. If you just stand there and don't do anything, Jill will get crushed. But if you interact with them, hey, everything's good. Go through those double doors, go through this door to the left, and you can do a couple of things with this zombie here. You can try to bait him out. You can use a defense item. If you hug the wall very tightly and make a sharp right turn, you can thread the needle and get past him. Which is actually kind of doable, but also kind of tough. In this safe room, there's a fuel canteen, and also there's some kerosene. If you're taking out a lot of zombies for some reason, and on real survival, I don't know if you'll necessarily have the ammo to do that, but if you take out a few zombies, you can use the fuel canteen to burn them. Up here, bait out that zombie and run around him. Remember? Get close enough that he starts to grab, press back, and he should whiff. Go through that door, hug the wall to run past that zombie, and go in this door. This is going to take us into an office that has a couple of things we need. First is the dog whistle. It's going to be right on that, right next to the chessboard right there. And then the lighter will be on the desk on the other side of the room. Gotta have those items. Make sure you grab them. Now go back the way you came in. A lot easier if you do. And this zombie right here, just watch him a little bit. And when his back is turned, run by him. Zombies have to do a pivot to turn around. And the frames to get around them is actually really generous. They can't really grab you while they're mid-turn in this. At least not that I've noticed. They probably can, but they have a really hard time doing it if you're at their back. They have to fully turn around before they can really grab you in this game. If you've done everything like I have to this point, Barry will give you a stack of acid rounds, which you're going to want to save. Do not waste them. You don't really get that many acid rounds in this. In fact, that's the only acid rounds we're going to get in this entire game. With our new key, we're going to go to that end of that balcony, and we're going to unlock that door, and then we're immediately going to go through this steel door here using the lockpick. Now, this is where we're going to want to equip the shotgun. And blow the whistle, because we have to take out these doggos. They have a key that we need. Now prepare yourself, because these dogs are pretty resilient. A couple of direct hits will do it, but sometimes these dogs have other ideas. So ideally, you'll wind up with about 3 shells left, unless you're really unlucky and have to use 1 more to get rid of them. But there is a whole thing of green herbs right to the side there, so if you take a bite, if you get driven to caution or danger, you can heal fully. And then be sure you pick up the imitation key that's inside the dog collar. Well, pick up the dog collar. It has an imitation key in it that we need to pick up a real key in this next room. Go back out here and immediately go through the next door that you see there. The one to the right of the door that we just came through. And then back into the murder hallway. Just run through that zombie. He's gonna turn around, and unless you just catastrophically screw it up, you should be able to run right through him. And then the other guy will run right behind him too. And once we get to this door, there's a crimson zombie, a crimson head, that will rise. That's gonna get a little scary, not gonna lie. Crimson heads are bad news, but they aren't as bad as you think they are. One thing about crimson heads, if you have surplus shotgun ammo, crimson heads, I've noticed, have weak heads. Anyway, to solve this puzzle, take the key that you see there. The trap is going to spring, and then look at the collar, open it up, and take out the imitation key. Be sure you examine it twice to make this happen, so that it turns into the shape of a key. Now, use that imitation key and disable the trap. If you're having a lot of trouble with crimson heads, you can just very easily use a shotgun to take their heads off. They have very weak heads from what I've experienced. There is an herb right here, like I mentioned earlier, if you need it. We're going to run right around. Just keep running when you turn the corner. Crimson Head's going to whiff. Crimson Head might even take out one of his friends, and we're going to bait out the grabbing that other zombie, and we are just going to book it out of here. Now, you might get grabbed doing all that. It's very possible, but that's why we have our defense items. If you get grabbed, the Crimson Head won't be able to hit you while you're mid-grab, so don't be too scared. There's gonna be a zombie right here. We'll bait him out too. And book it past him and go downstairs. If zombies are on stairs, they're very easy to get around because their only attack is vomiting. We don't need to stop inside the safe room that's next to the stairs. We're just going to keep going and go right through this door here that requires a lockpick. Because there's some good stuff in here. If you're playing as Chris, that's where you get the broken shotgun. There's a battery pack in here. And also there's an ink ribbon. In the drawer on the other side of the room, if you need to save your game, there's an ink ribbon. If you're new to this, you might want to do that. Otherwise, just grab the battery pack, because that is another defense item. Jill uses that for a taser. And it's pretty useful. I'm not going to kid it. Not kidding around. That taser, it's not as good as the flash grenade with Chris, but it's a big help. Run all the way to the end of the hallway. Turn and go to this water pump. And then use the chemical. Be sure you turn the switch to red. don't turn it to green, because if you turn it to green, it's going to kill the herbs over there. And if you happen to need an herb, well, it's not going to do you any favors. But after you use that chemical, go forward, grab the mask. This is the first of 4 masks we have to grab to get to the next part of the game. You might want to grab an herb or two while you're here too, I don't know. It's up to you. It's your game, play it how you want. But if you absolutely need to heal, there's your opportunity. Grab what you can, because we are not going back in there. Run all the way to the end, and keep going to the left. And then run all the way to the end of the hallway here. Jill will unlock that door. And we're going to go back into the dining room. Now, go to the other side and exit the dining room. And now that we have that other key, the armor key, this is where the game becomes very interesting, because we have a few more options at our disposal. But I think the thing to do right now is to go get the grenade launcher. This is our other major weapon in this game. And we're only going to use it very sparingly. We aren't going to use this much at all. Unlike the original Resident Evil, you don't get much ammo for this at all. That's why we have to take the shotgun, so that Jill has a fighting chance. There's a dagger on the bench out here, but also you'll find Forrest, and next to him is the grenade launcher. Alas, poor Forrest, once you grab the grenade launcher, turn around, go back the way you came. Forrest is interesting. Play one dangerous zombie, which is replaying the main gameplay mode. Forrest is awake and he has a flak jacket full of grenades strapped to him. And you can't attack them or else he blows up. Kind of fun. Go through the other door, back into this hallway, and then the first door you see on the right, go through that and go forward. This is where we meet Richard, and he's been, quote-unquote, poisoned. He got bit by Jan. Now, we don't really care if Richard lives or dies in this. So just run right around these zombies. If you can just kind of narrowly avoid them, that would be awesome if they're on one side of the room, otherwise bait them out. Be sure to unlock that one door, and then this zombie here, just run to the side while you're plowing through. Use the key on that door at the other end of the hallway. We want to try to get rid of this key as soon as possible, because it's cramping our style, right? Once you get to the bottom of the stairs, just leave this awful place and go to the end of the hallway. There's a zombie coming, so don't dilly-dally. Go through here, that door, and we'll be in the, well, the stained glass window room. Now, hit the first window, hit the switch on that to make it turn colors, and then go around and hit the yellow window. Hit the red window and turn it purple. So it should be orange, purple, and green. Now once you have that, go and hit the switch on the last wall there. It'll open it up. There's another death mask right there that we want to pick up, but we can't pick up right now because our inventory is a little full. Unlock the gate, and what we've just done is we've created a shortcut for ourselves. Watch the zombie as you go through here. Make sure you have enough leeway to run behind it and that it doesn't grab you. Otherwise, you'll run right into it. But as long as you stay behind the zombies, you'll be able to book it away from them before they can get you while they're mid-turn. Like I say, there's a fair amount of leeway for dodging zombies in this game. Just experiment with it, get a feel for it. And you'll understand what I mean. This zombie, go toward him. And when he starts to grab, press back. It's some good dodges right now, man. I'm gonna go through that door at the end of the hall, or end of the hall, end of the balcony there. Run and hug the wall. There's actually a lot of space there to run around that zombie. There's way more space than you think there is. And then go down here, and this time we're actually going to go into the save room. Because this is where we're going to pick up the serum for Richard. We don't have the space, though, quite yet, so we're going to put something away. Or we'll just use the green herb. Honestly, the green herb wasn't that important in the first place. We weren't really damaged. We picked it up over at the plant room, right? Also, very importantly, there is a first aid spray in the box over there if you need it. Now this zombie, we're going to hug the wall again to get around him. It's always a good idea to go through the path of least resistance whenever possible in this game. Like, obviously, if you can bait out a grab, that's great, but if you can just run around him, even better. There, we bait out the grab again. We're getting very lucky, actually, during these grabs, because zombies can double grab in Resident Evil 1 Remake, and what I mean by that is exactly what it sounds like. They'll do a grab and you'll dodge it, and then as you run by them, they'll immediately grab again. That hasn't been happening much so far, but sometimes it happens a lot, so be prepared for that. You can't really predict it, it's completely random. Anyway, after we have the serum, we're just going to go back and see Richard, guys. And this keeps him alive, but like I say, it doesn't really matter keeping Richard alive here. But if you want to keep him alive and take his assault shotgun, you want... That's one reason to keep him alive. Now bait out the zombie there, run past him, and let's run into this room. We have to go in here. And this is why we have the lighter. So go over to this candelabra, use your lighter, and the zombie from the hallway will immediately enter. Go push this shelf out of the way, this case full of fine china. If he's getting in the way, just kind of lead him around so he doesn't stand in front of that opening. And ideally, you want to bait that zombie out, but sometimes things happen. Right here, I accidentally got grabbed, so I used a defense item. But you have to grab the score in there. Now pay attention to the zombie out here again, and just get around him and leave. There's nothing left to do in here. There's a little handgun ammo if you happen to be using your handgun a lot, but I'm not using the handgun all that much, so it's not really worth it. Once you're done, get out of there. Richard is still out here hanging out. Now, we're going to go back into the main hall. We're going to go downstairs. Because now that we've got this sheet music, we've got something important to do. I do believe. The sheet music is somewhat difficult, because it's split into two parts in the remake. I would grab the crest on the wall, but my inventory is a little full, so there's something that I need to do here. I gotta do some gymnastics here by baiting out the zombie and running around him. Just like that. Now we're gonna use the key for the last time on that door. That's where we use the armor key, and the key that we picked up from the book, which I believe is the sword key, it needs to be used on this basement door down here to get rid of it. And that frees up 2 inventory slots. Now we're gonna go back upstairs, and we're gonna pay attention to what this zombie's doing. If... It's hard to make sense of what he's doing, but if he grabs, that would be awesome. Otherwise, we'll wait for him to just turn against the wall there, and we can go around him. Now we gotta go back into the dining room to grab the crest, because otherwise, we're just making 2 trips, right? Well, I guess we're making 2 trips anyway, but it's nice just to have the crest all ready to begin with. We will have to dodge that zombie again regardless, though. So, it's a little bit annoying. But, it's not too hard to bait him out and run past him. Anyway, go into the music room right there. And to find the other sheet music, we're going to run around the piano. And it's going to be exactly where it was in the original game. That other half. Push the shelf, and there it is. Get Jill over to the piano, and combine those pieces. And then use the sheet music. It'll open up this wall. Grab the gold emblem. When the wall closes behind you, use the other emblem that you picked up from the dining room. We are done in here. There's a note over the side if you want to pick it up when you're in that room. Just run to the side here and book it right past that zombie. When we get back to the dining room, we're going to use the emblem we picked up on the wall. Use the golden. This will open up the clock face. So we can mess around with the gears. And this puzzle is a little weird, but in essence, all we gotta do is turn the large gear twice to the left or the right so that it points towards 6 o'clock. And if it says 6 o'clock, we're gonna leave it. Clock will ding, open up, and there's our key. This is the key to go into Jan's room. This is where things get a little exciting. Well, a little more exciting. At this point, you might be having a heck of a time getting around zombies. But with a little bit of practice, you'll get it. Trust me, you don't need the fuel canteen at all. So you don't have to worry about Crimson Heads that much. There's really only a couple of Crimson Heads in the game that really come to life. As long as you're not taking out zombies left and right. Now remember, there's a couple of herbs over here next to Richard if you happen to need a heal. The game was merciful enough to put them there. When you get into this hall again, just keep going and go upstairs to where all the cobwebs are on that door, and that'll unlock it. Pretty shabby looking door, isn't it? The whole place is just shabby. Go into the room and Jan will appear. And because we saved Richard, he's going to come in and help us fight a little bit. Now, when this fight starts, immediately go forward and grab the death mask from this little hidey hole right here. And watch what Jan's doing. If Jan falls, just get out of there. But also, if Jan is, like, coming toward you, then wait to see what he does and work around the post so you don't get bit. No! You want to try... If Jan is coming toward you, you want to try to put the post in between you and him. Otherwise, Jill might get poisoned. Well, she might get bit by a venomous creature for all the pedantic people out in the audience. But you know what I mean. She'll get poisoned. And that's a big hassle, because then she has to take the serum herself. Watch out for this zombie over here. This zombie is a little bit of a go-getter, so to speak. If we could bat out a grab and get around him, like I just did there, that'd be great. Go into this room, where the suits of armor are. And the solution is very simple. Top right, bottom left, bottom right. Push those in that order, and then hit the switch in the center of the room. This will get us another mask. The caveat being that it's in a case, but that doesn't really mean all that much. It's not a hard case to open at all. The only thing that's different about it is that it has a couple of switches. Leave this room, watch out for the zombie if he's there, then dodge accordingly, and then if all's clear going to this door, then go right to it and get out of there. There's going to be this zombie in the hallway. Do the same thing we've been doing. Run to the side around him. And this zombie right here, we're just going to book it right by him right now. And then, if he happens to be going the right direction, then we'll run to the side around him and get to this save room. A little tricky. At this point, there's going to be a clip of handgun ammo and a first aid spray. That first aid spray is pretty useful. If we could try and save that, that would be ideal. Because the more heals you have for the guest house, the better off we'll be. We don't need it right now, though. Now, immediately, you want to mind yourself when you're next to that zombie in there. You don't want to just stand around, you want to immediately go. We almost have all the masks, so we're going to go back out to where the stained glass is, and we're going to run around and grab the last mask. At this point, we should have the grenade launcher, we should have a shotgun. And we're not really going to need any heals for this. Provided that everything goes well. Because we're about to enter our first boss fight. At this point, after we have all the masks, the zombies disappear from the graveyard. These are two zombies in the game that it doesn't matter if you take them out, because they disappear regardless. Over here, in this graveyard, where I'm standing, there is a stack of shotgun ammo. Right next to that fallen gate there, where I stood. You can't see it, but there's a stack of shotgun ammo. I would recommend grabbing it, because it's going to make your life easier when you get to the guest house. And every little bit of ammo tends to matter in this game. You can't waste anything. So place the mask with the eyes, open the box, and place the mask with the mouth and the eyes this time. Well, the mouth, the nose, and the eyes. Next, place the nose mask. And then finally, post the mouth mask. Now get ready. I would recommend having the grenade launcher out for this. You only want to use 2 grenade rounds. You want to save 4 for the next boss fight. When you get to control, aim, turn a little bit towards Crimson Head, Elder Crimson Head, and fire. You want to turn very slightly. Fire 2 rounds at him. Then use your shotgun. 2 shotgun shells should do the trick. And put him down. When you're done, take the stone and metal object from the casket. And now you have, hopefully, 7 shotgun shells to work with. We'll pick up some more shotgun shells later. There'll be a lot of shotgun shells that we pick up during this. Not many grenade rounds. Unfortunately, there's just not that many grenade rounds. Jill mostly has to work with a shotgun. There is a magnum you can pick up in this game if you have to have a little more firepower, if you're having a really hard time. But we don't have to have it. We are going to run back to our save box, or excuse me, our item box real quick, though. Because this is where things get really hairy in the game. This is the hardest part of the game, I would say. There's two parts in this game that I would say are the hardest parts, and this is one of them. We are going to take the first aid spray, because for this part we're going to want about as many heals as we can get. And if you fight this fight, you'll know what I'm talking about pretty quickly. Then we'll go back out where we were. This zombie we're going to bait out. Once he grabs and whiffs, run around him. Go all the way to the end and place the stone and metal object to unlock the door. Boom. Now, we're going to have to take a slight detour. There's some shotgun shells to the side over there. They're a little hard to see, but it's there. There's also a battery for your stun gun. And there's also a first aid spray. Honestly, I would recommend grabbing all of it. You don't have to grab... Excuse me. You don't have to grab the shotgun shells right now. But eventually, when you come back, I would recommend it. Go to this... and turn it to west. There's two of those. The first one you turn to west, the red one, and then the blue one you turn to north. This next area, through the gate that you unlock, is where you pick up the Magnum. You pick up the Magnum from the gravestones if you pick up an emblem from the room where you play with the fly specimens, the bug specimens. We're not really going into that room while we're doing what we're doing today, but that's where you get the emblem by solving that puzzle and using it over there in the graveyard on those gravestones to get the Magnum. If you need more firepower, that's where it is. This part is pretty simple. Just keep running forward. Keep running forward, keep running forward. A lot of ambiance. Keep running forward, and then turn right. There's this cabin up here. Go inside of it. Seems like a good idea, right? Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Turn left. And then go all the way through here. I say, like, directions based on what we're seeing, but when you're controlling Jill, you're going to be controlling it based on her perspective, right? So I guess technically, she's always turning the opposite of what I'm saying, it seems like. Alright, when you go through here, Lisa will automatically attack you. So, it's possible to dodge Lisa on the GameCube version, but it's very inconsistent and hard to do. The GameCube version of the game runs at 38 frames per second, and at higher frames, it's a lot easier to dodge her. But on this, I've dodged her about as many times as I can count on one hand. It's happened, but it's really hard to pull off. You pretty much have to immediately go and make no mistakes going around her. Because she swings and hits you almost every time. I have gotten around her, though. Consistently, though? No. So, if you're playing the GameCube version like I am, just plow through it. If you're playing the PC version at 120 frames per second, you might have better luck. There is a zombie down here on that screen, so be sure you watch out for that and go around it. They surprise you with a zombie, just to mess with you a little bit. That's Capcom for you. What can I say? So after that fun little excursion, you should have the crank in your inventory. If you didn't grab the crank from the cabin, yeah, you were supposed to. Messed up a little bit. Excuse me, you messed up a little bit there, but obviously the Lisa scene won't trigger unless you grab it, so if you triggered the cutscene, you're good. So just run all the way back to where you were. That's all there is to it. And don't forget to grab the shotgun shells in here. You want those shotgun shells. We're not going to be using them all that much, but we are going to use them in a very crucial spot. You'll notice that we're dodging pretty much everything. That's because real survival means business. We don't have enough ammo to spend on everything. We only have what we can afford to spend. So thread around those dogs and don't stop. The dogs in this game are very brutal. They're like heat-seeking missiles that latch onto you. So don't dilly-dally, just run around them and get out of there as fast as possible. Go here and use the crank to lower the water. This will allow us to cross. Cross over the other side and climb up the ladder. And most of this is pretty obvious. Keep going all the way to the end. And use the elevator. It's hard to screw that part up because there's only one way you can go, right? But down here it's a little less obvious. So go forward and then go left. And then run straight forward. And there'll be a gate right there. Don't dilly-dally because there's crows, there's dogs. It's just a big mess up there that you don't want to deal with. Fortunately in this area, there's no dogs. There are snakes though, so if you stick around, don't. That's all I got to say about that. Don't. Because they'll poison you if you stick around. Snakes are awful. So right here, the first door on the right is going to be a save room. You can save your game if you want, if you feel like you're under a lot of pressure. By all means. Save your game. There's a battery pack right there for our stun gun. There's also kerosene if you want to burn some more stuff. I don't know. Remember though, item boxes are not linked. We're gonna place those heals for right now. Don't need them that bad. Probably should place crank too. Yeah, we're not really gonna use crank right now. We will go through these double doors at the end. There's some stuff that we gotta grab in here. Watch out for the spiders. I forget how many spiders there are in here, but I think there's 2 of them. There's a book down here. There's a first aid kit. There's also a red book. You can get by without the first aid kit, but I would recommend taking it because it has a blue and a red combo. Watch out for that spider because he's a little angry. He really wants to poison us. Things might get ugly here, I don't know. And they did get ugly, because that spider decided to go ham and poisoned us. So, got ourselves a little bit of a pickle here. We're going to have to use that right now to get around this problem. That spider really aggroed. Usually he doesn't aggro that much, but today he did. So we had to use our poison heal immediately, our blue and green. That got us out of poison status. This box here, push it forward and then push it toward the stack of crates. This is the best way to get around all the nonsense that comes with going through that little open space right there. Because if you just run through that open space, there's a tentacle that comes out of the floor and hits you. Go through the door at the end. And then over here, there's going to be some shelves. You can push these shelves. You only need to push each one once. Push the one on the left one forward, and the one on the right one to the right. And that'll open up the ladder. And that's all you got to do to open up the ladder. They will automatically move further away so that Jill can access the ladder more. Inside this bathroom, make sure you go in here, there's a residence key that you want to pick up. Take those, and that's all you got to do in here. For now, at least. We'll be back, because we do have to go down that ladder soon. But leave. And then go back all the way to where those crates were that we stacked. Because there's a door we haven't gone into yet. Climb over the crates. Go to the door that's locked. Well, we should probably place a few things in our item box first, honestly. Because we are carrying some things. First aid spray is taking up space. We need to free up some space. And luckily, this key in our inventory, since we use it on the door, it's going to go away very quickly. And see, it immediately gets discarded. Inside this room, there's a one-shot pistol that you want to pick up, a one-shot revolver. It's actually the most powerful gun in the game. Ignore the hanging body, there's a note that you can read if you want, but you want the one-shot pistol. Then go into the bathroom, move the plug, and get yourself ready, because this zombie is going to come to life, going to rise up, but the control room key is in the tub. Okay, then the zombie outside is going to fall off of that noose. So, take the control room key, get out of there, and leave. And that's all you gotta do. We don't need the self-defense gun for right now, so it's best if we just put it away. The self-defense gun is effectively a magnum, and we want to save it for a hunter. We don't want to waste it on just some regular old zombie. You can, but not very satisfactory, and also not very useful. So now, after we put the self-defense gun away, we're just going to climb back over the crates, and we're going to go back the way we came, all the way to that door at the end. And this time we're going to go down the ladder, now that we have the control room key. There will be a zombie in here this time. So things are pretty calm right now. This is some nice music, by the way. When you get to this crate here, just push it forward a little bit, and then stop right there. Don't push it all the way forward, because then it's going to be a little bit difficult to do what we got to do. This first crate, push it forward into the water. Then turn around and push the crate right behind it into the water. What we're doing is building the bridge. And finally, now we can push this thing forward. Pretty simple when you get down to brass tacks, right? This really takes you back to all the great stuff in Resident Evil 2. There's one thing about Resident Evil 2 that I don't know that I miss all that much. It's the crates. The puzzles were not exactly deep in that game. But at least there's only one of these so far. Well, I guess two of them so far. Alright, I've lost count. There's a green herb here. I would recommend grabbing it because what we're about to do is, well, it's going to be a little dicey. This is the shark room. So, when you get in here, just start running. And keep running. Ignore the sharks coming toward you. Go to this catwalk and turn right. They're going to get one hit off on you. It's probably going to put you into caution, maybe even danger, who knows. When that happens, use one of the green herbs to keep yourself healthy and just keep going. Don't dilly-dally in here. You hear that music? That's not good music. That means Neptune is coming, and if you dilly-dally and stick around in one place for too long, Neptune is going to jump out and eat you. Use the control room key on that door, it'll go away automatically, and then go down the ladder. The sign over here to the side is going to tell you which valve you have to open in it. Valve number 2 it is today. It's completely random every time you play. The console on the far end of the room.
Emergency.
Interact with it.
Detected. Locking all doors to achieve maximum safety.
Neptune is breaking through the glass, causing an emergency. Turn right, interact with that console, then interact with this console.
Reaching 30% of pressure threshold.
It's stuck, so you have to use the valve to release it. Use valve 2 like the sign said.
Reaching 50% of pressure threshold.
And then do the same thing again.
Activate emergency
The same two
draining
consoles.
system immediately.
This one over here to the right, and then the other one to the left. And then that'll do it. Again, don't dilly-dally in here because the critical status moves pretty quickly on real survival. Like, getting it at 50% is pretty decent. Once you have that shuttered, use that console to drain the tank, and congratulations, you've avoided a catastrophe. I don't know that I've ever failed that room, but I came close once, and oh man. I almost rage quit, I think. Run to the right here, and go through that upper door. There's going to be some magnum ammo right there if you happen to have the magnum, but if you don't have the magnum, I mean, not a lot of point in taking it, right? Not really. Neptune's over there. It's not going to do anything right now, but Neptune is not quite dead. Try to take the key and you'll find that out. So, push the console into the water, and then flip the switch. This is the easiest way to deal with the problem. There's a skip that you can do to get around Neptune without using the electrical, the console. But, I don't know. It's kind of risky. I think, for the most part, it's more trouble than it's worth. Because the electricity really doesn't take all that long. But, regardless, be sure you take that key. And if you have that key, we're ready to get out of here. Go all the way to the ladder. Climb up. Isn't it amazing how this game still holds up so well 23 years later? That's what good art direction can do for a video game. Now just leave the way you came in. And again, there's gonna be a zombie in this room, so there's a couple of ways you can handle it. You can bait it out. Just run toward it and use a defense item like I did. It's up to you how you want to do it, but regardless, just get around it. Or if you really want to, you could go ahead and use your weapon and try to take it out, but if you do that, good luck during the boss fight. And here we, again, don't want to dilly-dally. There's some insecticide spray on this body over here that we need to pick up. Go to it, take that spray, and then immediately turn around and leave. If you stick around, the bees will attack you. Now turn, go up. At the end, there's a map. Do not examine the hole again, otherwise a bee will appear. Use the insecticide spray. That'll get rid of the bees. Again, do not look at that hole after you take the map, otherwise a bee will come through the hole. And it will be a problem. More problems during real survival we don't need. Over here there's a red herb that I would recommend combining with a green to make a full heal. So, about this next fight. It's pretty hard. It's probably the hardest fight in the entire game. There's a residence key over here by the beehive. Take that and unlock door number 3. If you feel like you can handle this fight, go ahead and do the fight. I'm going to go grab my first aid sprays at this point because it's a lot that can go wrong during this fight. But if you don't care about spending a little extra time doing this, you can use Vigil to take out the plant and just automatically win. It's going to take you a hot minute to get that Vigil done, so I don't know. Is it worth it? Could be. If you're having a really hard time with the game, you might just want to do the Vigil skip. If you feel like you can handle it, then let's fight Plan 42. But to do it, we're going to need 4 regular nade rounds, 2 acid rounds. There are no flame rounds until you get to the lab in Resident Evil 1 Remake, so if you think you can use flame rounds, you might as well get that out of your head right now. So now we've got 3 full heals. That should do us. And then whatever else we have to do, we'll use with the shotgun to clean up Plant 42. Plant 42 is easily the hardest boss in the game. It's got tentacles that wildly slap you. It can knock you off of the platform you're standing on. It can spray you and stun lock you for a minute. It can drop pollen to hit you. It's a heck of a boss fight. A lot harder than it is in the original game, and it requires a little bit more strategery to take down. So this puzzle right here, just place the books. And move the first one into the 4th space. Move the second one into the 6th space. And move the 3rd one into the 7th space. You've got the lady, and now the door's unlocked. This is where you're going to want to have your nade launcher equipped, and aiming manually with the nade launcher is tricky. Immediately go up the staircase. Get yourself ready. Try to bait out a strike right there, and then go to the center of the platform as best you can. Get as close as you can. Try to aim Jill at the open Plant 42. When it opens up, that's where you can hit it. If you see Jill grab her side, that is a good time to heal. The probability of getting slapped off this platform is pretty good. Try to bait out those strikes before you go. Because if you bait out the strike, there's a less likelihood that you'll get hit. And we just whiffed a nade round there because we aimed a little bit too far to the side. But we course corrected, and we still have 2 acid rounds we can use. If you're playing on HD Remaster, you may need to arc your grenade launcher up in order to hit Plant 42. As I understand, there's a stronger arc on the nade launcher than there is on this game. The GameCube version. And we just whiffed another acid round. So, we got one more acid round that we can spend, and then we have to change over to... to our shotgun. Because we need 4 acid rounds for the next boss. This is very, very difficult to do without manual ammo. I had to do this because the swipe came before the plant was open. Try to bait out that strike so I can go. And that one hit. So, now we switch to shotgun. We've done enough damage with the nade launcher that we should be able to use shotgun to pull this off. If we stick around if we stick around too long here, that little flower off to the side will shoot pollen at us. Now, because we're using the shotgun, we don't have to get too close to the platform anymore. We just bait out the strikes, go over there to approximately where the vulnerable part of Plant 42 is, and fire. That was mighty convenient. Sometimes it works out like that. Just keep doing this. Eventually Plant 42 will give it up. It's a little bit harder to pull off with the shotgun, but fortunately we've got quite a bit of ammo for our shotgun at this point. Plant 42 is being a bit of a stinker right now. And that's Plant 42. So, even if the nade strats don't work out perfectly, you want to give yourself a little bit of leeway if you can. And that's what the shotgun is for. We don't have tons of ammo, but we've got enough. Be sure you grab the key from the fireplace, and we're ready to head back to the mansion, guys. So I guess you have to ask yourself here, is it easier to mix V-Jolt? Maybe. Does it take more time? I don't know. See for yourself. But at the end of the day, if you beat Plant 42, you have the satisfaction of saying, you beat Plant 42, no V-Jolt. That is the hardest boss fight of the entire game. You meet Wesker out here, and the game kind of turns you around right there. It's very weird. Because you think you're going one way, but then you realize, oh, I need to turn around and go out this door. You can go through that little nook now. You don't have to go in the boxes because Plant 42 is dead. So now we want to take the crank. We want to take the one-shot revolver, but most importantly here, we want to take this blue herb. This blue herb is very important. We want to keep this in our inventory, guys. We want to go ahead, if you want, go ahead and mix it in with the red and the green if you haven't used the red and the green yet. If you haven't used the red and the green yet, awesome. But we just need the blue herb because there's a strong possibility of getting poisoned coming back to the mansion. Just go back the way you came. There's only one way you can go, so it's really not that hard to figure out. Run forward, turn left, use the elevator. Now, this is where things are going to get a little different. There's going to be snakes coming down. And the only way I've been able to figure out how to get past snakes is by kind of just hugging the wall as they come down. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is one of those days where it just didn't. So I took a bite from the snake. It's alright. It just happens. A lot of times I run past those snakes no problem, but sometimes just nope. The snakes can be really annoying sometimes. Well, the dogs here are even more annoying. Be sure you give the dogs a wide berth, and then just run right through. Ideally, you won't get mauled by all of them all at once. Inside this area, there's a dagger, and there's also some more shotgun ammo. So, we're doing pretty good on shotgun ammo. I mean, we got 15 rounds. That's awesome. You may want to use your poison heal right now. If you happen to be an orange caution, it'd be a good idea, I'd say. Now we're just going to go back inside the mansion, guys. Let's see what happens. Well, I'll tell you what's going to happen. We're going to meet our first hunter. He's going to get a little too friendly for his own good. Just get out of there and go through that door. Back to the first save room. And get the one-shot revolver ready because we're going to take out the most annoying hunter in the game. Aim, fire. Boom. That hunter's got to go. All the other hunters are negotiable. That one, he's got to go. Because he's going to cause nothing but problems. So get rid of the self-defense gun, it's done. Get rid of the crank, we'll use it later. And then get rid of the shotgun ammo because we're going to pick up more of it anyway, and we're not going to use the shotgun all that much for right now. We don't really use that much shotgun until we get to the lab after this point, honestly. Wait for this hunter to come this way and then start going up the stairs. When he starts to get into his animation where he's going to jump over the banister, that's when you start going. And then run all the way at the end. Be sure you do that, or else the hunter's gonna get up in your grill. It ain't gonna be great. There's a green urban here. Might be a good idea to take it. Since we have the key from Plant 42, we can open this door now. Inside this room, push that statue all the way to the end. Do not be afraid of the closing walls, they will not hurt you with a statue there. If you went in there alone, yeah, they would. But with the statue there, they will stop it from crushing you. Or it will stop them from crushing you, excuse me. Now once it's there, turn around and go through the right side. There's a switch over there that you need to hit. Hit that switch, turn around, and don't dilly-dally, leave. Go into the center again. And push the statue to the right. Or excuse me, the left. Why did I say the right? Push it left. When it's in place, it'll go into the left side, and this wall will open up. Go down the hole. This book is a key item. The last book is very important. Then go to the grave site. This grave. The secret grave. Go down the ladder. A lot of spiders down here, so don't waste any time. Just move. Go straight, go left, go right, and get out of there. These spiders are very aggressive today for some reason. They usually are very docile creatures. For the most part. Not today, though. There's a blue herb here. This is important. Do not use the blue herb yet. Keep the blue herb until you are crossing the bridge again. If you have to tangle with these zombies, just use your defense items, try to bait out grabs, etc. You could also use a shotgun shell or two. That'd be fine. I think you've got enough ammo that you could do that if you want. But if they happen to puke like that, just brute force your way through. Every time a zombie starts throwing up, it's not that big of a deal. Just try to push around them. The grabs are the real problem. There's a zombie shambling over here. Just kind of get him off to the side here, bait him in, and run around him. Now go through the elevator. And go up. So unlike the original Resident Evil, there's not a whole room off to the side where we pick up a whole bunch of, you know, ammo disc and magnum ammo and all that. There's a bunch of that stuff in the original game. None of that here. There is a little enclave down below that has some heals in it, but also a zombie, so be aware. If that zombie has his position against the wall, if he's facing the wall, feel free to just run by, go in the store, and grab the shotgun shells. If you have the magnum, go ahead, grab some magnum ammo. And then there is a battery for your stun gun. There's also a battery that we need for the elevator. And after that, we're done here. The only reason to go and try to get those herbs over in that little enclave, is if you happen to just be in grave danger. Other than that, it's not really worth it. So, out here this zombie is going to be in a different spot. Bait him out and try to dodge around him. The other zombie is going to be in a pretty bad place too. Hopefully he's going to be better than what I got. Now, try to turn here and just, like, circle around, and if you move forward and circle around that corner as the Crimson Head is swiping, most of the time, he will whiff. He won't hit you. If he does hit you, then just keep going. Use the green herb that you have on you. Go through the door, and then turn back around and grab the green herb that's out there. That's the solution to that. And that'll keep you alive. Now, when you're ready, go through this door. Use the key. Yawn will appear once you run to the end of the hall. And when you get control of Jill, take out your nade launcher. Fire. Fire twice. Run around. Fire one more time. And then go down the ladder. If you don't have acid rounds equipped, make sure they're equipped. Go over here, aim, and fire. It takes 4 acid rounds to take Yawn down. If you don't have enough acid rounds, you can use shotgun to get rid of him. But acid rounds are faster. Do not use a magnum to take out Yawn. Yawn is magnum resistant. He will just eat the bullets. If you need to save some space, combine herbs, and then take the other last book, the blue last book. We're done here. Let's get out of this place. You're going pretty well so far. Every Resident Evil 1 Remake playthrough has its own share of issues, we'll say. A lot of grief that it puts you through. Something special always happens, something random. The trick is just learning how to deal with it. So now that we're done here, now we got all this stuff, we are just gonna go through the door right there because it's less of a headache, honestly. Besides which, there's not really a lot of reason not to go down this way. There's actually an herb in that hallway. There's also an herb downstairs. Because if you didn't use the herb downstairs there, you've got another herb available to you. But our job right now is to go use this key that we picked up in other locations. There's a couple of other locations we could use it. And if we can, we really want to get rid of it, because The more keys we have in our inventory, the more space is getting cramped. By the way, the statue falls off of the balcony automatically if you haven't done it yourself already. So if you want to get some more shotgun shells, since the statue fell, you can take that blue gem and place it in the statue that we have to go to pretty soon if we want to get the good ending. Which, we are going to get the good ending. Use the key on that door to the side that we haven't gone into yet. It's got a very important item in it that we can go down and take the shortcut to go back and get to our item box. Remember, there's a hunter in here. And we don't want to stick around. Hunters are very quick. Most of the time you can just run around them without too much problem. But if they hit you, it's not great. So, now we're back at our item box. Let's do a little bit of organizing. We're going to get rid of the Doom books for right now. We don't need them right now. We also don't really need our mixed herb. We don't really need a battery at the moment. Honestly, we don't even really need the shotgun ammo right now. As I said, we don't really need the shotgun ammo until the lab, so you could just put that away too. I didn't do it here, but you can do that. We're going to go back the way we came. And we're going to take the shortcut back into the main hall. There's one other spot we have to use this key on. We'll get to it, but we're going to go into that door that we haven't gone into yet. If at any point you feel like saving your game, obviously don't do it too often, but feel free to save your game when you feel like you've made significant progress. Anyway, go inside that room, go to the end of the hall, and then go through this door. There's a zombie in here. Watch your reflection. Help yourself keep track of him. He's moving faster than you think he is. Take time to grab the dabber. Excuse the dagger. You can grab the herb if you want. I would recommend trying not to get grabbed by him, obviously. I would recommend trying to book it around him and go back and grab the item box. Or not the item box, the puzzle box. We can't use this puzzle box quite yet. We're going to use it after we go to the other room that we have to use this key on. But those are the items in there that are particularly useful. There's even a set of blue herbs. If you ran out of blue herbs for some reason, you can go into that room and heal yourself. And get rid of the poison status. If you just blew through all your blue herbs, it'll be okay. Try to run past this hunter. Sometimes he'll attack you, but most of the time you should be able to get past him without too many issues. Just, if he does hit you, don't stick around for very long. I'm still fine. I also could go outside and use that green box full of heals again, because I haven't used them all. Run around to this door that we haven't gone through yet, and use the key. That'll get rid of the key, because it's the last door. Now, we're going to push both of these dressers. We're going to take the dagger over there, because another defense item is never a bad idea. There's handgun ammo under the deer head. Turn the light off after you push the dressers. And try to get the eagle or the bird to look at the other side of the room. And while it's turning, go and take the eye out of each head. The yellow stone is going to be used to get an MO disc. The red stone is used for the puzzle box. The yellow gem is not essential. The red gem is. So take the red gem and put it in there. This puzzle is not so bad. Try to match the shapes as best you can. That big shape there, just put over to the side. Little shape. Put it right next to it. It's hard to describe the shapes. That medium-sized shape, that should go on the upper side, and then that shape is kind of like a right angle, almost. Well, not really. That should go on the left. And then the little one goes right in the center. The smallest piece goes right in the center. It's kind of hard to explain that one, right? So just look at the way I did it and copy the design. That's the easiest way to explain it, I think. This might be a good time to grab the first aid spray, because we still have the one left over. And we are going to some pretty dangerous places, so wouldn't be a bad idea. If you run down this hallway, hunters appear. Just keep going. Don't stick around. And there's a zombie right here that is moving pretty fast. It'll grab you if you don't move it quickly. Run and go into the statue room, where the tiger statue is. This is where you can use the yellow gem. This will net us an MO disc. If you have the blue gem, it'll also net you some shotgun shells. If you're running low on ammo for some reason, might not be a bad idea. Where we're going, we probably will not have to use too many heals. That zombie there, just hug the wall. He'll spin around, and by the time he turns around, he'll be long gone. Go through the door. Back into the dining room. And then back into the main hall. We have a key, a very special key for a very special door. Take the shortcut back to that hall with the hunter. The one that leads out to the courtyard and the dogs and the waterfall and all that business. Because the one door that we haven't gone in this mansion, well, the one that we haven't been able to go into yet, get into it now, and it's got a very important item too. I know all the items are very important. This is a key item. Now, go to the side here. This door, that's the door. The one that has the knocker on it. That's the one where you use the key that we picked out of the puzzle box. And in here, we turn on the lamp, and it shows us a couple things. It shows us battery pack. Obviously, that's pretty good. It also has a metal object. Now, notice that it's not a stone and metal object because it's missing part of itself. A little bit of a problem, but not that big of a deal. We're going to go back to our item box. We do have the crank and the battery now, so that means we're going to the catacombs. And again, we don't really need any ammo down there. Not really. If it makes you feel better, by all means, bring some. I would recommend bringing the heals before I say bring the ammo. But you can put away the ammo disc for right now. Bring a poison heal at the very least. If you have more heals, by all means, bring them. Just make sure you have the crank and the battery. And then leave this awful place. If you run toward the hunter like that and hang to the left a little bit, the hunter's just going to go right by you. You can dodge him pretty easily. Really not that hard to do. At least that one. Some of them are easier and harder than others, but that one, not that bad. Go out where the dogs are. Book it around the dogs. Use your best judgment with these dogs. Sometimes, like right there, that dog is kind of just facing away, so it's got a lot of wide open space, and just get around it. Don't get close to the dogs. Like, the more space you can put between you and them, the better. We're getting really lucky with dogs today, by the way. Most of the time, dogs are one of the most annoying enemies in the game. These snakes, though, this is why we have the heal. Sometimes when you get bit by the snakes, you don't get poisoned. Doesn't happen very often, but sometimes you don't. And if you don't, well, we're just going to collect our W. Because that never happens. When you take the elevator down, there's dogs here, so again, watch yourself. Pay attention to what those dogs are doing. That dog's kind of just chilling right now. Put the battery into that hole against the wall. That means the elevator works now, and we kind of got lucky there. That dog came charging, and it leaped, and it whiffed. Oh. There are 3 dogs out here. There's a dog right there that we don't really see that much. Try to get around it. Fortunately, kind of hard not to get close to it, but go up the stairs, try to avoid getting hit by a heat-seeking dog, and leave. It's not the easiest thing, I know. But when you get out here, use the crank again to get rid of the waterfall. And now we're ready for the catacombs. We are gonna have to dodge those dogs one last time. I know it's been pretty hairy, but we can do it. That's one dog. That's another dog. A serpentine pattern sometimes works pretty good for dogs. It depends, but usually, yeah, that works pretty good. Run off to the side when you go in there with that dog. Or run off to the side and then do a sharp turn. Because a lot of times the dog will leap from off-screen toward you. And if you run forward to the, if you run off to the side and then do a sharp turn right as you hear it, like, growl as it leaps, a lot of times it'll miss. When you get down in here, when you get in that room, or when you go down the ladder, go into the first door, hopefully you have one inventory space available. If you don't, use the item box and get rid of the crank that you have because you're done with it. We're going to take a new crank soon. Run in here. And there's Rodrigo. Interact with him to take the crank. The second crank. And now we'll leave. A hunter will come in here, just keep running past him, don't stay. He'll still be in mid-animation by the time you're almost out the door. So breathe a sigh of relief, keep running, go around, and then go through this door at the end. There's going to be more hunters out here, so run past them. They're going to go into an animation. See? Just run. Just keep running and leave. Don't stop. And then when you get through here, things are a lot safer, thank God. Go to the item box. Get rid of that first crank, the one with the green handle. Everything else, though. And use your new crank to open up the path. If you want, you can use the ink ribbon near the typewriter to save your game at this point. Might not be a bad idea if you're a little nervous. There's an herb right there that might help you out. We are in caution, so might not be a terrible idea to do it, but really, when we're in yellow caution in this game, it's not that different from being in fine. It's not until Jill holds her side that we really need to worry. Go up to the ball, run back, and then run forward and go into that little nook. It is not worth going to get the ammo over there. All it is a clip. It's nothing exciting. Just go into this room. And prepare yourself, because technically this is a boss fight, but we're gonna do a little something, and hopefully we don't get punished for it, right? Run around Black Tiger. And take the knife that's behind him. Equip the knife. May want to use the herb, that's your call. Go to the door with the webs on it and start hacking. And sometimes we get punished by Black Tiger for doing that. He ran right toward us and gave us the old smackaroonie. We're still in yellow caution, though. Now, we don't want to spend too long in this room because his Black Tiger's got some friends that eventually come out. But once you get all the webs hacked off the door, we can go through and just leave. We don't have to actually fight Black Tiger. Ideally, Black Tiger doesn't really charge at you like that. He just spits a bunch of poison. Most of the time, that's going to be the case. Sometimes, though, yeah, he just charges. And, not too much you can do about that. Just kind of random. When you get to this spot, use the crank 3 times. And prepare yourself, because as soon as you get out of the menu, the ball's going to come forward. Hold up and right. Excuse me, up and left. Boy, don't listen to that. Up and left. Oh, God, what did I say? Oh. Boy, my advice is something special sometimes, I tell you. Up and left. Go up and left. Up and left on the D-pad, or up and left on the control stick, the analog stick, to get out of the path of that ball. If you do what I just told you to do, up and right, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get flattened. Ah. Nice one, SK. Well, push that statue toward the very obvious block in the wall, and then use the crank on the hole in the wall. And once it pushes that statue forward, push it forward 2 spaces, then run around and push the statue onto the dais. Okay, once it does that little turn there, go to the side and push it forward. 3 spaces. Okay. That'll keep you from getting turned on it. Then go to the other side of it and push it back on the dais again. Alright. Good deal. Now push it 3 times again. Push it forward 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4, 4. I mean, whatever. It's not that important. and then push it to the right 3 times. This is important. Okay, 3 times is the magic number there. Now push it forward until it goes into place. And that's the piece that we need. We have the cylinder now. Let's leave. Go back the way we came. If you want, there is a first aid spray over here. We're not going to encounter any more poisonous things. Unless, of course, you just decide to stick around with Black Tiger. And if you do that, I mean, I don't know, man. Well, there is a blue herb outside of his boss room, so it's not that big of a deal. But this will net us 2 first aid sprays if we happen to need them or want them for any reason. Go back through Black Tiger's boss room, and when you go through, angle the stick to the right, upper right this time, and turn a little bit, and then go to the door. Because if we don't turn to the side as we're running, Black Tiger will hit us and knock us across the room. And we don't want that. Now go back the way we came before we got to the Black Tiger fight. Go back to where the typewriter is. We need to use the item box, because we got to get rid of some stuff. We're going to get rid of the knife. Get rid of the knife, get rid of the crank. We don't need it anymore. We're done with them. Now, run past the hunters again. Remember, there's hunters in here. Don't stop, just keep going. And then go through the door. It's stressful, it's okay. Just run right by him. Go to the end of this room where this machine is. Open that lid and take out the cylinder. Well, the shaft. Combine the cylinder and the shaft and put it back in. Code for this is 4231. 4231. That'll bring the elevator up and Barry will appear with you once you go over there and start interacting with him. Interact with the control panel. Once you do that, time to get excited for a little bit more Lisa action. Go through this door. First door you see in front of you. And we're going to do a little bit of manipulation here, because if we go to the left there, Lisa will spawn there. And that'll let us run over here, around, and through this door. If we go the other way, then Lisa will spawn in the other direction, so we have to do a little bit of manipulation to get her to spawn where we want. This crate here, go to the right of it, push it forward. Once. Well, twice, whatever. Could probably get by with once. Maybe. And then push it all the way forward until it's on this... God, what do you even call this? A gondola? Yeah. Yeah, we'll just call it a gondola. Yeah, it's not really a gondola, but you know what I mean. A platform. Yeah, push it onto the platform. Now, up here, there's going to be some handgun ammo if you want it. I don't want it. But if you want it, go nuts. And there's a battery pack. Another battery pack. Again, very useful stuff to have. I would recommend taking it personally. Because at the end of the game, when you're in that final fight with Tyrant, sometimes things happen. He's got some grab attacks. Now, get Lisa where we want, we're going to run forward down the stairs a little bit until we see her. And then she'll be right there. Now we just run around, past the lever, back the way we came, and back through the door. The elevator's gonna go because Barry's a turncoat. When it does, we'll run all the way over to the other end of this bridge, where the ladder is, and there's the platform that was sent over here with that crate. Push the crate forward, all the way forward. And then push it forward again until it falls off the platform. Then activate the switch and crush it. This will net us a broken flamethrower. Not that it really matters, because we were never going to use the flamethrower as Jill anyway. Honestly, you don't even use the flamethrower as Chris. Not that much. Not really. The only use for the flamethrower, I think, is just to burn the webs off of the door so you can escape Black Tiger. That's about it. Very unexciting weapon when you really think about it. Too bad, too, because Chris could really use a third weapon like Jill has. So we'll go back here where Lisa is, and we'll run to that side there to spawn her, so she's not spawned near the switch. We want to hit the switch. We don't need any heals right now if we're fully healed. Like, there's no reason to stop and pick up herbs right now, because if you're fully healed, you're good. You don't really need to take anything with you. Place the broken flamethrower on those hinges that drop down, and go through the door. Again, you think that you might need to grab some heals. You don't need to grab any heals right now. Unless you need to get yourself back into fine condition, don't grab them. Now, for this water over here, be sure you hug the wall as you're going through, otherwise the snakes might jump at you and bite you. I don't know if they poison you, because I think they might be able to, but I've never been poisoned by them. So just err on the side of caution, and do your best to avoid them by hugging the wall and doing some sharp turns. This will take you back into the cabin. We have the stone object that we need for the metal object. Now we can just get out of here and go back to the mansion again. This is the same ordeal as the last time we went. Just take yourself down through this forest, ignore the zombie, give it a wide berth, get around it. Don't work too hard. And then go through the gate. There's gonna be zombies in here this time. If you just run forward, you don't have to do anything else. It looks scarier than it really is. Just run forward. The zombies won't grab you. It's never happened while I've been playing the game. I play this a lot. One of those cases where it's all bark, no bite. Now go back where this first stone object is. And you want to take that stone object. We almost forgot it there, but then we remembered right then. take the stone object, the metal and stone object, and then go through the door. And watch yourself in here. There's a hunter. And ideally, you'll be able to get past him, but you might want to just go through the door that's right there. Reset the room so he's not in your way. And then go back to where your item box is. Now, this is the point where you want to heal yourself up. Any heals you have that you want to use, feel free to use them, because we're not really going to get another opportunity. Open up the jewelry box, and inside is a stone ring. Along with a note if you want to read it. Kind of a heartbreaking note. Combine the stone ring with the metal object to create two different stone objects. Stone and metal ring objects. Take the MO disc with you, leave all the heals. You need the last books, you need the stone and metal rings, you need your shotgun and your nade launcher, you need your shotgun ammo, and then you need the MO disc. I don't remember if I said that already, but you need it. Then go through the shortcut, and we're going back to the main hall. This is going to be a little bit stressful without any heals, but we're going to get some heals when we get to the lab. We are closer to the end of the game than you think we are. So, just mentally prepare yourself for it, because it's coming. Now, go down the staircase and go behind the staircase, down another set of stairs, another one, and right here is a gate. We are going to use both of these stone and metal objects, and we're going to open this gate, guys. Don't be afraid, of course you're going to open it. Now, there's nothing left to do except go down these staircases. If you really feel like it, you can transport all your items to that box. You can even save your game if you want to, but we're not doing that. We're just going to go all the way down. We're going to take ourselves through this door. Go down the ladder. And if you want to get the good ending, give Barry the gun back. But also watch yourself when this happens and start pushing these stones off. As soon as she jumps over, Lisa, if she jumps over, you want to start moving to the other side, but unless she does, just keep pushing. Now, there's going to be a little bit of RNG here, because hopefully Barry will shoot her. Barry doesn't always do that, because Barry's AI isn't very smart. But if he does, and we get lucky like we did here, we've got more than enough time to push those stones off, and Lisa's done. Bye-bye, Lisa. We're done here. Let's just go. Go to the elevator, use it. And there's not much to do out in this courtyard, except use our last books. Now, on the statue that's got the dogs, then use the wolf emblem. Or I guess the statue that's got the wolves. Or the lions. Use the wolf emblem. Whatever. And then on the other one, it's got the eagle emblem. Well, I guess they're both kind of lions, aren't they? Well, whatever. I just noticed that. Alright, well, the one nearest you when you come in, use the wolf emblem, and then the other one, use the eagle emblem. There. No, I thought for some reason they had different statues. Would make sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, here's the disc change portion of the GameCube version, guys. Takes a hot second to switch the disc. But as soon as you switch the disc, it takes us to the lab. On the remastered version, you don't have to do that. I mean, obviously. Turn around and go down the ladder. This will take us to a save area. There's an ink ribbon there if you want to save your game, if you're feeling a little scared. Otherwise, just keep going. There's going to be some zombies here, not going to lie. You may want to try using your shotgun, or you may want to use a defense item. You may even want to just bait out a grab. If you can hug the side and go around it, by all means do it. If you go to the end of this hallway real quick, there's an MO disc. That's the second MO disc that we need in the game, if we want to save Chris. And if you can make it to the stairs before that zombie gets to the top, that would be ideal, so you don't have to deal with another grab. Now, there's gonna be a zombie right here that's gonna get in our way. We're just gonna use the shotgun to get rid of him. We're not gonna go through here enough times for him to revive as a Crimson Head. So it's okay to use the shotgun here. And honestly, since we haven't used the shotgun to attack zombies hardly at all during the game, odds are, if we take a shotgun blast at them during that part, we're gonna get a crit. For me, it happens most of the times I play this. Sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time it's worked out pretty good. Login here is John, password is Ada, and then the second password is Cell. If you play the original Resident Evil 1, the password is Mole, but here it's Cell. It actually gives you a special error code if you use Mole here. This is a fun Easter egg. Well, be sure you unlock both floors, and you're done in here. Time to get going, guys, because we have things to do. First things first, we are going to drag ourselves back upstairs. There's going to be a zombie next to the door this time. It changed positions. But you should be able to get around it by hugging the wall over to the left. Yeah, if you just do that, odds are it'll just whiff. It ain't that bad, right? Nah. Everything's fine. On the wall over here is a passcode. Code is 8462. Very Resident Evil solution, honestly. They do that a lot in this game. We saw it down in the catacombs, too. There's an MO disc on the shelf over there. That's the last MO disc that we need to save Chris. There's also a key that we have to get, the lab key. And that's all we gotta do in here, unless you want to look at some slides, unless you want to get some lore. If it's your first time playing, it might not be the worst idea to just take it all in, enjoy yourself. But we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna haul ass. Go around and go down this time. And before we go through the door on the at the far end on the upper part of the screen, we're going to go through these double doors. That's the first place we can use the lab key. Go through this hole, this vent right here. And if you want shotgun shells, that vent there is the vent you go through to get them. Otherwise, we're going to go through this vent, the second vent, and we're going to go down to this computer and use one of our MO disks. We don't really need the extra MO, so we're not going to grab the shotgun shells through that other vent. But if you really feel like you need them, you can go through the vent and get them. But don't wait around for too long, because a chimera, one of those bug creatures, will come in and attack you. It's following you throughout this area, so don't stick around too long in there. Game's messing with you. Just FYI. When you're done in there, go through that door. It'll chuck the lab key at that point. And we can't do anything with that door. That's just there as a reference to the earlier game. Right at the very end, there's a save room. Want to save your room? Want to save your game? Go nuts. But there's a couple of important things here. There's flame rounds, incendiary shells for the very first time in the game. There's only 2 sets of these. There's also a first aid spray. We're going to go ahead and load those into the nade launcher, because we're going to use those pretty soon. But those are for a very special occasion. Listen. Don't waste them. Now, over here, there's a zombie. Shoot it. Get rid of it. We don't need it around anymore. This is going to be a very high-stress situation, so the fewer problems we run into, honestly, the better. Run to the right and go up. And just book it past that chimera. It's going to try to swing at you, but you can get by. Take the fuel canister. It's empty, so don't be afraid to run. Make sure you hug the wall, so when that chimera gets up on the ceiling and tries to grab at you, it doesn't grab anything but air. Now, that zombie will be gone, thankfully, because it doesn't turn into a crimson head at all. And we're going to go back... Excuse me, we're going to go over this way. There is another defense item. If you go forward out of there, there's a zombie, but also there's a defense item nearby if you want to grab it. Honestly, we probably have enough defense items at this point, but if you need it, it's there. There's also a heal on the ground if we want to take that. There's precious few heals in the game, so might be worth it. We'll go into that door. On the right, the first door on the right. There's a zombie in here, another one of these yellow zombies, so... take care of it, because we don't need it causing problems. Quits for days. Let's go. Got 17 shells left. We can use the MO disc on this little Gamecube right here. Boom. Notice how they're all shaped like Gamecubes, right? Place the fuel canister. At this point, I want to be very, very firm about this. Do not run. Like, if you do run at all, just tap the run button maybe like once. Twice, maybe. Do it as little as possible, but only do it when you get to the chimera. It's not worth playing with fire. Because here's the thing. I've noticed playing this that if you do the technique of walk a little bit and then run for like 1 count, walk for 4 counts, and then run for 4 count, it doesn't really seem to reset the number of steps you can take when you get to the chimera, because the chimera, if it grabs you, will shake you, and if it shakes you when you've had too many steps, you'll blow up. But if I've noticed when I walk it out the whole time, and I get to that area and I start just running a little bit, then if the chimera grabs me, shakes me, I don't blow up. So I've heard someone say that the steps in the GameCube version reset. I'm not sure that's true. Just based on what I've experienced. So, because of the sensitive nature of what we have to do here, I would say that this might be a good place to save your game. Like, if you're going to do one save at all, this is probably the place to do it. Because it's very easy to blow up and lose a significant amount of gameplay. So, in here. If we can get the Chimera to be on the ground, that would be ideal. Now, notice that he grabs me. And because I've been walking it out the whole time... he grabs me, shakes me, and I don't blow up. And I'm able to even do a little run past him. I use a defense item automatically to take him down. I'm able to place the capsule, no issue. If I had been using the run technique to get to that point, I don't think that Jill would have made it. Run forward in this room and use the ammo disc on this last Gamecube. And now, Chris is ready to be freed. As long as these chimeras are on the ground, they're pretty harmless. Just run right by them. It's when they're on the ceiling that they're dangerous. Run around and go through the double doors. And then run to the left in here. Go to that console, the computer, interact with it. Okay, we're good. Now go, try to hug the wall. It might not work. If you do get grabbed, use a defense item. Well, you'll use a defense item automatically if you've been collecting them, and you don't have them unequipped. Notice that we still have 5 of them. We have quite a few defense items. So, the Chimeras and Nemesis, or not Nemesis, Tyrant, are the reasons that we have so many. Just in case things go awry. Now, leave. Leave and go activate the elevator. We don't need anything else. Barry will show up here. You know, acting all friendly and all that. But we all know about Barry, don't we? Him and his hand cannon acting like they're actually useful when... No, they're not. If only. Nothing left to do but go into the lab, guys. So, when the fight starts, turn around. Turn around and run the other way. Let's go ahead and get the nade launcher ready because it's going to be a lot faster. Fire 1 round. Aim. Try to straighten yourself out. And just make sure your aim is true, I guess is the takeaway here. It's hard on real survival, but hey. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it, right? These are supposed to be some of the most powerful rounds in the game. Of course, it's not Barry's handgun, but it'll do. At this point, we should switch to shotgun. And that's all she wrote for Tyrant. Go over here to the server and release the lock. And then go wake Barry up. we're almost done. And crazy how all this has gone, huh?
The self-destruct system has been activated.
The fuel capsule went way better than I could have possibly hoped for. I wasn't sure if we were going to get through that without blowing up, honestly.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks.
While Barry's off doing his thing, just go back to where Chris's cell is, because we have to free him.
All personnel
If we want to get the best ending, that is, or I guess it's the best ending. We'll just call it Chris's ending. Or Jill's ending with Chris. But anyway, we've done everything we need to do. Just go over there and hit the switches.
personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks. The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks.
You have to go all the way down the stairs to get to Chris.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
And there
All
is
personnel
his
must
cell.
evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing all locks. The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate immediately.
If you go back inside the cell, there's actually another set of flame rounds. This is the second set of flame rounds in real survival.
The self-destruct system has been activated. All personnel must evacuate.
And this will help a lot during the final fight. You don't have to get them, because you do have 16 shotgun shells, or I have 16 shotgun shells, but
Destruct system has been activated.
flame rounds, extra flame rounds never hurt.
Deactivating and releasing all locks.
With that, it's time to leave, guys.
The self-destruct system has been
We'll go back
activated.
upstairs.
All
We'll book it past the
personnel
zombos.
must evacuate immediately. Deactivating and releasing
Chris is gonna go his own way, I guess. But if you have anything in any item boxes,
The self-destruct
well, now would be a
system
good time to
has been
grab them,
activated.
if you need them.
All personnel must evacuate immediately.
If you stick around too long in that area, the chimeras are going to come out into the main area, so don't dilly-dally. By the way, go upstairs.
The
Watch out for the
self-destruct
zombies.
system has been activated.
You have enough shells that if you need to, you can shoot something. But you can also just dodge them. There's enough leeway that you don't have to fool around with the zombies. You can just move. You can just dodge right by them. Run right by them with impunity. You're good. Go up the ladder.
Deactivating and releasing all locks.
Come on.
The self-destruct system has been
Go through the door.
All personnel
Chris and Barry are waiting for you.
deactivating and
There's a heal right here. There's an herb. So now we've got a couple of herbs in those first aid kits.
self-destruct system
It's not much, but those with a first aid spray, I think we'll be all set.
deactivating.
The battery is down here. Be sure you pick it up. I mean, you're not leaving without it.
The self-destruct system has been activated.
When you're ready to set the battery,
All personnel must evacuate.
equip nades,
Deactivating.
and Jill automatically goes in the elevator, man.
3 minutes to detonation.
Good job, you've gotten this far. I mean, pretty crazy experience on Real Survival, isn't it? Yeah. You should be proud of yourself if you've gotten through this. Especially if you've only grabbed the weapons that I've gotten, you should be proud of yourself, because that's not easy to do. Now, right outside is going to be the flare. Or signal rockets. I mean, whatever. Go to the center. Use that bad boy. I don't know why I paused. Probably because I was playing some Code Veronica around this time, and in Code Veronica, the start button is the inventory. Some Resident Evils just do that, you know? Anyway, time for the Tyrant fight. Now! Tyrant is gonna pick Barry up. You want to start firing those flame nades at him if you want to keep Barry alive. I guess if you don't really care about Barry, just go ahead and like let Tyrant do whatever, but then he's gonna just one-shot him. To get around Tyrant, you want to run to the right, angle to the right as you're running, and then do kind of a sharp turn as you start swinging. As long as you angle to the right as you're running, Tyrant will almost definitely miss every time. When you have an opportunity, just turn around and keep firing at him. It's a little harder if you can't see him, so just get one off and then make some space. Some of these camera angles are very inconvenient. Give him a wider berth than you think you need to. Eventually, when you lay in enough shells, the rocket launcher is going to get dropped. And it's time to use it. Now, I took a hit here. I thought that I had a little bit more leeway than I did, and I did not. If you take a big hit like that, use one of your heals. Fortunately, that created just enough distance. Fire one rocket, he'll swat it away. Fire a second one, and he's cooked. And congratulations, you have just beaten Resident Evil 1 Remake Real Survival. Cheers. This is a very hard game, soulmates. So if you're able to do this and get through this with the strats that I have given you, then I think you're pretty good at the game. Obviously, if you want to make some adjustments to anything that I gave you, anything that I laid out
Jill,
for you,
you did a fine job.
feel free to go ahead and do whatever you gotta do to make this successful for you. If you want to use the gun, if you want to use the Magnum, go ahead. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you being here with me. Be sure you give this a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon, my friends.